Hey everybody, what a weekend. I saw Spider-Man Brand New Day this past weekend as well, and so we're here to talk about it. So, let's talk about it. This is the Tom Holland, if you've been living under a rock for the past, I don't know, 5, 10 years, this is the Tom Holland Spider-Man that we've been currently enjoying. This is Tom's fourth Spider-Man film. I want to say breaking the record kind of set by Tobey Maguire back in the day with his 3 films. Amazing Spider-Man had 2 films, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me down in the comments below. Into the Spider-Verse series is getting its 3rd movie, I think, next year, 2027, or if not, 2028. That's been phenomenal. I've been enjoying that series. I can't wait for the next movie. But we're here to talk about Brand New Day. Again, if you didn't know, it stars Tom Holland as Spider-Man, John, I'm butchering his name, Berthenol as Frank / the Punisher, and Sadie Sink from Stranger Things, by the way, as Jean Grey. Now, before we get into Sadie Sink and everybody else, I want to say John's version of the Punisher, for me, is right up there with the Thomas Jane Punisher. They're both neck and neck. I want to say that John's Punisher is slightly higher than Thomas Jane's Punisher, but they're right up there. 3rd spot is definitely Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. So they're out of the 4 Punishers, that people that played Punisher. Yeah, John's definitely within the top 2 slots. Let me say this about Tom Holland's and being Spider-Man. He's one of the better. I want to say the past 15 years, they chose wisely with a lot of the Spider-Mans that they've had out there, those who played it. And Tom plays the type of Spider-Man you kind of see in the comics. If you want to disagree, again, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happy to hear what you have to say. And from what I've been hearing, the studio and Marvel want to kind of go in a little bit different direction, but Tom kind of weighed in and stated that he wanted to see this movie to be a little bit more boots on the ground. Yes, that seems like a little bit of spoilers, but it's not really spoilers. You can kind of gear that from the previews. So yeah, it kind of does that, and we'll get a little bit more as we talk more about this movie and get deeper. So I want to say it's a streak. I'm kind of glancing. If I'm looking down, do you have my notes on this device? I say this device. But one of the pet peeves, I will say, a lot of I never really put my movie reviews here on this platform, but so you don't know the pet peeve like some of the folks on the audio side know. One of my pet peeves is that when a movie starts at a certain time, try to walk in at that time. I know a lot of times it's kind of hard to do because a lot of the movie theaters like Alamo or Regal or anything like that, they have a wide selection of food options nowadays. But I'm from an era where there's usually like maybe 3 or 4 options, and that's popcorn, drink, candy, and nachos. That was your 4 options. And besides those 4 options, what size of those? So do you want a large popcorn? Do you want a small? Do you want a large drink? Do you want a small? Do you want the large bag of candy? Do you want to have the small bag of candy, etc., etc.? And you always have that one person that kind of looks at everything. You could be in that small mom and pop theater like the one I go to, and the folks that are behind the counter are like, I don't know what I want. It, they only have drinks and popcorn. Do you want drinks and or popcorn? You know, if so, how hungry are you? I knew what I was getting. I knew what movie I was going to see, and you know what I was getting as snacks. 40 minutes before I even walked through that door, I knew what I was getting. You're like, I don't know. But the pet peeve is not just that, is the folks that show up, like the movie starts at, let's say, I'm a matinee person, 1 p.m. They show up at 1:45. Walking in, talking loudly, and a lot of you out there is like, that's not a problem. I go to Regal, I go to Animal Draft House. The movie, it might start at 1 o'clock, but in reality, the movie actually starts at 2 o'clock because you have a 15, 30 minutes of previews. You got, not only you have like 15, 30 minutes of adverts, you have another 15, 20 minutes of previews and so forth and so on. So yeah, coming in 30, 40 minutes late is not a thing. But a lot of times, mom and pop, if you're in an area like me that doesn't have a Regal, an Alamo, or one such as that, the movie literally starts at 1, 85% of the time. Sometimes you might get a preview or two, and then the movie starts. So for someone like me that has kind of undiagnosed ADHD, or autism, or OCD, whatever it might be, I gotta arrive at the theater at least 15 minutes before, 20 minutes beforehand. Not because of all what I mentioned, it's because I have to deal with the people that, that have to look at the menu like, I don't know what I want. Dude, they only have popcorn and drinks, man. Do you want popcorn, drinks, and if they have candy, do you want popcorn, drinks, and or candy? What do you want? Make a decision. If not, get the hell out of line. And let the others go so they could get in the theater and start watching the movie. But that's just one person. It's my pet peeve. Is like, why some people were coming in almost the movie already was like 15, 20 minutes, almost an hour starting, and some of these folks were just wandering in like, I don't know what's going on. And that's not just my biggest pet peeve. I've been in movies at that same theater when it's a 2-hour, 3-hour movie, and they come in an hour and a half late, and they're the ones that are yelling, what the hell is going on? They're causing a ruckus, so forth and so on. And it's just a pain in the ass. I'm sure if it's a pain in the ass for you, please, again, leave something in the comments. And I will also say a lot of this movie was spoiled for me by TikTok, so I kind of knew what was happening, and not so much the beat for beat of the movie, but it was spoiled for me because a lot of spoilers were on TikTok. But TikTok does have its benefits because usually TikTok lets me know how many, and sometimes Facebook, how many post-credit scenes there are. So that's always a plus. And this time around, I knew there was one. And by the time I got in the theater, the credits were already starting to roll. So I got to see it firsthand on the big screen. We're not going to relate to you in regards to what that end credit scene is. Just to let you know, if you do plan on seeing it, there is one end credit tidbit, and it's at the very tail end. So to kind of go into it, yes, there are spoilers ahead, kind of, sort of. So we'll try to be vague as we can about everything, so you're not really spoiled about this movie. But I will say this before we continue down that road. So far, this opening weekend, the movie has, from what I've been hearing, so count it as a rumor. I'm not going to state it as fact. I'm going to state it as a rumor. Allegedly, the film over this weekend made domestically here in the States, $345 million, so roughly about $350 million stateswide. Worldwide, this movie made about close to $1 billion first weekend. So if it did, congratulations, Spider-Man, brand new day. For a lot of the crappy movies allegedly that were out there, this is kind of the breakthrough, the summer blockbuster we kind of needed in a while. And not to mention, this was probably the first movie, this was the first movie I've seen all 2026, which, that's a good thing. And let's get into the actual movie itself. There are a lot of things, there wasn't too much I didn't like about this movie. Were there sections that it kind of dragged? Kind of, sort of. I think that happens a lot in a lot of movies, that it dragged. But the opening montage of kind of catching us up with what Spider-Man has been doing and Peter's been doing since, I think it was No Way Home. No, not No Way Home. Yeah, I think it was No Way Home. Either way, the last movie in this series, kind of him just being a workaholic and so forth and so on, and going down that road. And again, I'm glossing out a lot of stuff. If you want more of a detail and spoilers and deep dives, please see the other creators on this platform that do a way better job on this. But in that, were there a lot of Easter eggs in this? Yes, apparently there were over 411 or close to over 400, or if not close to 400 Easter eggs in this. I'm not one to do that. There are, again, loads of other creators out there that kind of do that sort of thing. Please visit them. I'm sure they put out wonderful content. But the whole montage to show what he's been doing, I think that was a good thing, because over the past few years, there's been a lot of crappy spin-offs. Heck, even Sony has released, as of this recording, they're not doing any more Spider-Man spin-offs because they have been going downhill. Whether or not that means we'll get another Venom movie, I don't know, but it looks like they're going to stick with the bread and butter of strictly Spider-Man. But this is, it just shows that, hey, we're not going to have a Spidey versus Scorpion, Spider-Man versus Sandman, Spider-Man versus this person. It's been done before, or it might not work, it might not be the best movie out there, so they just stuck with this. And we'll get, one of the things, it kind of, overall as a film, it's tying in with the rest of the MC universe, whereas Spider-Man versus, again, Sandman or Scorpion or a Green Goblin type of villain would not fit in the overall MCU. They're kind of, it's shown, they've kind of shown that in the previous Spider-Mans, that, yeah, we're just moving along. Yes, we're going to have this villain in this, particular movie or this particular crisis, but, and they kind of did that with the previous, I think, No Way Home. So they're not going to do it again with other movies, and it's probably spoiled a good thing. And it's a good thing that they did with this. Kind of seeing, having an inside the mask point of view. I don't mean kind of like how they showed Tony Stark communicating inside of his helmet. It was literally, face and mask type of thing. That was, that was different, brilliant. Whether it worked or not, it was something, a whole new thing, and I kind of liked that. It was different. It was kind of a pleasant surprise that they did something you don't really see that much in a lot of superheroes, the ones that wear a mask. And I think Spider-Man is one of the few superheroes that wears a full face mask like how he does versus others. There's atypical Spider-Man humor in this. Again, shows his side, whereas I don't think you really seen that too much with a lot of the other Spider-Man. Not knocking the others in regards to this. Sadie Sink's to go into a lot of, I don't think I put it in here in my notes, but I'll go into it a little bit. Um, Punisher, though I said John as Punisher was very good, he plays a very gritty and, Punisher, uh, and he does a very good job in this, and we'll go into a little bit more in a bit. Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. I hope they keep her for the Doomsday and the Secret. I think it's going to be the Secret Wars movie that's coming out. So I hope to they keep her along with that, and they keep her in the X-Men movies or whatever comes after Doomsday and Secret Wars. I hope, who knows what happens over the next 3 or 4 years. But she plays a decent Jean Grey. She's, whether or not she's a good actress, I'm not saying, but she plays a good job in this and trying to do what she does. And there's not much of a variant of what she does in this movie as she does in Stranger Things, but I think Stranger Things, since I'm sure she's played other roles, but I want to say that Stranger Things might have been her first role, and this might have been her second role. And as she acts a little bit more, a lot of her rough edges will come off, and she'll be a little bit more polished. But she does a good job in this film overall, and deserves some credit where credit is due. But to get into the aspect of Punisher and Spider-Man, and in essence, Frank and Pete, I don't know if, I don't think, in this aspect, I don't think Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, has told Frank his identity or anything like that. I'm not going to spoilers for the end of the movie in regards to this, but in this, you see that they have a connection, that whether it's working or otherwise, it's in this. It's not like you'd see with in the comics with Spider-Man and Deadpool, but they have a relationship in this. It comes off as an old bickering married couple. That's what it comes off. In one scene that has them doing this, MJ is part of this scene, and I didn't expect her to go. It's like, hey, they kind of like, what do you think? I expected her to get, in essence, go, yeah, I think I don't think about anything, but I am wondering how long you two have been married. But I will say this: her response of "I just want to go home" was a perfect answer. Like the whole aspect of "I don't care, I just want to go home. Leave me out of this" was brilliant. But it just that the fact that they act like a bickering married couple and longtime friends is a good thing. We do see a kind of, because Spider-Man's Pete's spider powers kind of increase in this movie and evolve in this movie, is akin to, in my eyes, him wearing the black suit there in the comics. There's two aspects overall with that black suit. One is the symbiote suit, and the other one is him in a black handmade suit. Just to give you an idea from what I know in regards to the comics, when he, in essence, is wearing the black suit, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a rat's rear about anybody. It's him, like, even a lot of his people, from when I watch comic creators on TikTok and on this platform, a lot of folks have come off as like, when Peter's wearing black, yeah, just okay, I surrender. Cuff me, web me up. Okay, I'm just gonna go home now. There's a taste in that in this when Pete's eyes go black, and that spider ability is wanting to come out. Him going from pretty much 10% to 50 to 90. That he doesn't want to hold back. He doesn't give a rat's rear about what's going on. There are aspects of there are points where it's pure New York City, old school New York City, where something's going on and the people around are like, we don't see nothing, we don't hear nothing, what's going on, we don't care. Because there's an aspect where Peter falls in the alley after change, and everybody wandering by is we don't hear nothing, we don't see nothing, we don't, nobody knows. Nobody's like, we ain't snitching about anything. So, and Spider-Man and Pete/Spider-Man learning his new powers, because a lot of it is that's it. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes. One of the things I skipped over is like Peter is with the new Black Widow. I thought it was the old Black Widow. I missed one or two movies. I didn't really see Thunderbolts. I don't have Disney Plus, so I don't. It took me a while, and took somebody on TikTok to kind of fill me in that yeah, the Black Widow we see in Brand New Day is someone taking over that mantle. So it's not Natalia we used to know and love. It's someone taking over that mantle, and it's that aspect, and the engagement between them is, I wouldn't say chef's kiss, but it was fun to see in regards to it. But to kind of continue with it is that not today, and Peter learning these new abilities as they're evolving is very reminiscent of again, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man from way back, and him bringing up that, hey, this is, and bringing up from like No Way Home in regards to meeting that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, is again one of those aspects of, we're paying homage to that, not just that movie, because there was like how he handles doing the new movement was kind of almost not point for point how Toby did it in the original, but it still was almost an homage. And because this one of the things abilities he's get is organic web shooters in this. Again, we're in spoiler territory. You've been warned. And he's like, hey, I got organic webs like Spider-Man #2 or Spider-Man, in regards to making reference to him meeting the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and him learning and falling. Again, all these homages to Tobey learning his powers. That was wonderful. And learning this and having him try to control it, him knowing and about the Hulk, and visiting Banner at college, at I think New York City College, University, or whatever it was called in the movie. Him going to see Banner, and the look that Banner gave Peter in regards to, I'm not here to talk about the Hulk. I'm here to talk about the Hulk, but I'm not here to talk about the Hulk. I'm here to talk about the science, because at this point, Banner is still wearing the wrist unit that helps him control the Hulk, or the transformations into the Hulk. And the look that Banner gave Peter was like, oh, this person is not here to talk about the Hulk, or me being an Avenger, or X, Y, and Z. He wants to know about science. He wants to talk about the science. And that was, I I wouldn't say fun to see. It's just that them talking about science instead of like all these questions, and it was like also poking fun at the fans as well. Um, there were also a lot of aspects in this where you could tell, yeah, that would have been where a Stan Lee cameo. And so there was a lot of aspects. The Hulk fight was done very well. There was a lot of aspects to this. A lot of deep dives would tell you in regards to a lot of people went into the aspect of those around him. Ned remembering spoilers. What happens between Ned and Peter? It was kind of hinted at in No Way Home as to why he could do certain things, and X, Y, and Z. I'm skipping over a lot of the ending. What happens? There's a scene in regards to that. I will say by the end, Peter or Spider-Man's, I say, the Punisher Frank has a lot of respect for Spider-Man Pete. He does kind of find out Peter's identity and so forth and so on. And kind of the ending, there were a few people that kind of realize who Peter is, but not by names. Like they look at Peter like, I think that the dude coming from this location is Spider-Man, and that pays an aspect to the whole fan theory that's out there in regards to those that New York City knows who Spider-Man is, but they don't know who Spider-Man is. Meaning somebody could come in and say, give me a name who regards to, give me a name, Spider-Man's identity, give me his name. And it's like, we don't know nothing, we ain't telling nothing, we ain't snitching. Snitches get stitches, But they recognize who Spider-Man is. They might see him walk out, or they realize who Spider-Man is, but they don't know him by name. And so it's like, we're not going to snitch on him. Like, we're not. If they see him walking by and somebody says, "Oh, who's Spider-Man?" They're not going to point like, "Oh, it's that motherfucker over there." But they're going to say, "Oh, we don't know." Just move along. And one of the other things that some people have theorized is that the Ultimate Spider-Man, or the Spider-Man that we see in Into the Multiverse, I forget that particular Spider-Man's secret identity. Fill me. I'll probably remember later on, but fill me in the comments. So some people theorize that him and Pete do have a conversation in this movie, and we might get to see. I'm gonna look it up. Let me put it in here and just do a Google search in regards to the Into the Spider-Man. Okay, do they give me show more? Let's see here. Cast. I'm looking. Let's see. Miles Morales. That's the name I'm looking for, everybody. That in this movie, in essence, we possibly see Miles Morales in this, and Spider-Man speaks Miles Morales, even though, kind of like how people have theorized that the little kid with the Iron Man mask in the first Iron Man is pretty much Peter Parker. They're theorizing that one of the folks that Pete speaks to in this is Miles. And that particular Miles hasn't been bitten by the spider yet, so we don't know. And we'll have to, again, we have 2 movies coming out over the next 2-3 years, so we won't know until then. So it was wonderful to see this, and a lot of people are speculating it was going to be a series. I can't wait to, and heck, um, I've been hearing that there's a lot of deleted scenes, different endings, and so forth and so on. I hope when the movie finally drops on streaming in regards to Fandango and all that, it has a lot of extras a part of it. I would love to see those extras, those deleted scenes, those bloopers, and everything else in regards to this. I did enjoy it. Like I said, I can have a lot of nitpicks in this in regards to dragged out, or the fact that Sadie Sink's acting was a little bit wooden at times, or something like that. But it would have been nitpicks. I walked into this. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of stuff I enjoyed in this. So, on that note, if you like this movie, hit the like button. If you like Spider-Man, hit the like button. If you dislike this rant, this rave, this review, hit the dislike button. If you're a DC fan and you hate Marvel, hit that dislike button. Either way, it helps the algorithm. I don't care. If you want to hit that subscribe button, please do so. By leaving likes, comments, and hitting that subscribe, all help this channel, and it's all free, ladies and gentlemen. But if you want to support the channel in other ways, or see our audio program aspects, all those links are in the description down below, including our social media, our TikTok, and so forth. So we don't post that often, but if you visit our audio side, you're going to see a relatively similar version to this review there, because I'll be recording and posting that up. When I'll be doing that, I don't know, but I will, because I have to get back in everything, and it helps everything. So on that note, I'll see you next video, and bye-bye.